Welcome to AWS Mastery Labs, turning AWS chaos into clarity with bite-sized tutorials, hands-on labs, and exam-smashing tips. In this video, we'll dive deep into mastering Amazon S3 storage classes and lifecycle management. We'll break down the various storage classes available in S3, from standard to Glacier Deep Archive, and explain when and why to use each one based on your access patterns, data retention needs, and cost optimization goals. Let's get started. Amazon S3, Simple Storage Service, is a foundational service in the AWS ecosystem, designed to offer secure, durable, and highly scalable object storage for a virtually unlimited range of use cases. Often described as infinitely scaling storage, S3 can seamlessly accommodate the needs of a single developer or the most data-intensive enterprise workloads, without the need to manage infrastructure or worry about capacity planning. One of the standout features of Amazon S3 is its simplicity. It provides a straightforward web services interface, available through the AWS Management Console, SDKs, CLI, and REST APIs, that allows users to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. It also integrates effortlessly with a vast array of third-party tools and AWS services, enabling developers to build complex workflows and scalable systems quickly. S3 is known for its exceptional durability, with AWS guaranteeing 99.9999999%, 11 nines durability for stored objects by redundantly storing data across multiple facilities. This makes it an ideal choice for backup and restore solutions, data archiving, and disaster recovery scenarios. S3 also supports a broad set of features like lifecycle management, replication, encryption, and access control, giving users fine-grained control over how their data is stored, accessed, and managed. Because of its reliability, scalability, and performance, many modern web and mobile applications use S3 as their content backbone. It's especially popular for serving static assets like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, and videos, often in combination with services like Amazon CloudFront for global content delivery. Businesses leverage S3 to build data lakes, support analytics workflows, host static websites, manage logs, and much more, making it not just a storage service, but a key enabler of innovation across industries. The S3 standard storage class is Amazon S3's default and most versatile storage option, designed to deliver high availability, low latency, and high throughput for a broad range of use cases. It provides 99.99% availability, which ensures that your data is almost always accessible, making it ideal for critical, frequently accessed workloads. The S3 Infrequent Access IA storage class is designed for data that is not accessed frequently but still needs to be readily available when required. It offers a lower cost per GB compared to the S3 standard class, making it an economical option for storing large amounts of infrequently accessed data. However, this comes with slightly reduced availability and retrieval fees, making it important to use this class only for data where access is occasional and predictable. The S3 archival storage class is purpose-built for cost-effective long-term data archiving, offering the lowest storage cost among all S3 classes. It is designed for data that is rarely accessed and does not require immediate availability, making it ideal for scenarios where retrieval times of minutes to several hours or even a full day are acceptable. Amazon S3 Standard is the default and most versatile storage class offered by AWS, designed for general-purpose storage of frequently accessed data. It's engineered to deliver exceptional performance and durability, making it a reliable choice for a broad range of applications. With 99.99% availability, S3 Standard ensures that your data remains accessible even during infrastructure failures, offering peace of mind for businesses that depend on always-on access. This class is optimized for millisecond latency and high throughput, enabling lightning-fast data retrieval and seamless performance under high request volumes. Whether you're running a high-traffic web application, serving dynamic content, or crunching large data sets for analytics or machine learning, S3 Standard is built to scale elastically and handle the load without performance bottlenecks. One of its defining features is that it incurs no retrieval delays or additional retrieval charges. Your data is instantly accessible at any time, without the need to plan for retrieval windows or pay extra fees. This is especially useful in unpredictable workloads where access patterns can vary significantly. From a durability and security standpoint, S3 Standard is built to be resilient against failures. It stores data redundantly across multiple physically isolated availability zones within a region, providing high fault tolerance and protecting your data from local disruptions such as power outages or hardware failures. S3 Standard also integrates seamlessly with the full suite of S3 features, including object lifecycle policies, versioning, replication, event-driven processing via S3 events, and fine-grained access control with IAM and bucket policies. These capabilities make it easier to manage data over its lifecycle while ensuring compliance and governance. Typical use cases for S3 Standard include web and mobile applications, media streaming and hosting, data lakes and analytics pipelines, machine learning training data, backup and disaster recovery, and collaboration platforms. Its flexibility and performance make it a foundational choice for organizations that need fast, frequent, and reliable access to their data without compromise. Amazon S3 Standard Infrequent Access, commonly referred to as S3 Standard IA, is a storage class designed to strike a balance between cost and availability for data that doesn't need to be accessed frequently, but must remain immediately retrievable when needed. It's a perfect choice for organizations looking to optimize storage costs without sacrificing the ability to quickly retrieve critical data. S3 Standard IA offers 99.9% availability, slightly lower than the S3 Standard class, but still highly reliable for most business continuity needs. Data stored in this class remains instantly accessible without any retrieval delays, just like S3 Standard, ensuring that when data is needed, whether for a recovery operation, audit, or unexpected business requirement, it can be retrieved right away. Where S3 Standard IA differs significantly is in its pricing structure. Storage costs are lower than in S3 Standard, making it attractive for storing large volumes of data for long periods. However, per GB retrieval fees apply, meaning this class is not suited for workloads that involve frequent or unpredictable data access. It's optimized for data that is long-lived and infrequently accessed, offering substantial savings over time without compromising accessibility when needed. Use cases for S3 Standard IA typically include disaster recovery solutions, backup repositories, long-term media storage, and archive datasets that must occasionally be retrieved for audits, reviews, or regulatory purposes. Its compatibility with lifecycle policies makes it easy to automate the transition of objects from S3 Standard to S3 Standard IA after a defined period of inactivity, enhancing cost optimization without manual intervention. Furthermore, S3 Standard IA fully supports advanced features like cross-region replication, CRR for disaster recovery planning, object lock for immutability, and versioning to protect against accidental deletions or overwrites. S3 Standard IA is an excellent fit for organizations looking to retain important but rarely accessed data at a fraction of the cost, while still keeping it instantly available for critical needs. Amazon S3 Intelligent Tiering is a highly adaptive and automated storage class designed for workloads with unpredictable or changing access patterns. It intelligently optimizes costs by moving data between different access tiers based on how frequently it is accessed, all without impacting performance or requiring manual oversight. At its core, S3 Intelligent Tiering continuously monitors object access patterns and shifts data between two primary tiers: a frequent access tier, which functions similarly to S3 Standard, and an infrequent access tier, which mirrors S3 Standard IA in pricing but comes without the retrieval fees. This means users benefit from lower storage costs for data that isn't accessed often, but without being penalized when that data is retrieved again. For workloads where access behavior is truly unpredictable, intelligent tiering shines. Unlike other storage classes that require a user to predict access frequency or set up complex lifecycle transitions, this class handles it automatically, making it ideal for large datasets, such as those used in data lakes, machine learning, analytics pipelines, and other dynamic applications where access patterns vary widely over time. One of the key advantages of this storage class is that it comes with no retrieval fees, even when objects are moved to the infrequent access tier and later accessed again. Instead, Amazon charges a small monthly monitoring fee per object to analyze access trends. This fee is minimal when compared to the potential cost savings achieved through automated tier transitions. In addition to the two main access tiers, S3 Intelligent Tiering also supports optional archive and deep archive tiers for objects that haven't been accessed for long durations. This unlocks even deeper cost optimization for rarely used data, all managed automatically without administrative effort. S3 Intelligent Tiering integrates seamlessly with lifecycle policies, allowing objects to be uploaded directly into the class or transitioned from other storage classes after a defined period. It supports all the standard S3 features, including versioning, encryption, and replication, making it an easy drop-in replacement for workloads that value automation and efficiency. Amazon S3 One Zone Infrequent Access S3 One Zone IA is a specialized storage class designed to offer cost savings for infrequently accessed data, but with a key trade-off. It stores data in a single availability zone instead of the multiple AZs used by other S3 storage classes. This class is ideal for data that is non-critical and easily reproducible, such as secondary backups, disaster recovery copies, or staging data. By not replicating data across multiple AZs, S3 One Zone IA provides lower storage costs than even S3 Standard IA. However, this cost benefit comes at the expense of reduced durability and availability. It offers 99.5% availability, which is suitable for less critical workloads, but it does increase the risk of data loss in the rare event of an AZ failure. Just like other infrequent access tiers, objects stored in S3 One Zone IA are immediately accessible when needed, but retrieval fees apply, making it less suitable for data accessed regularly. The key distinction lies in its lack of multi-AZ redundancy. There is no automatic replication across regions or zones, so if the single AZ becomes unavailable or is permanently lost, data stored in this class may be lost as well. S3 One Zone IA integrates with lifecycle policies, enabling automated transitions from higher cost tiers like S3 Standard or S3 Standard IA after a period of inactivity. This allows organizations to further optimize storage costs for data that's not mission critical. However, due to its single zone design, it does not support cross-region replication, CRR, making it unsuitable for use cases that require geographic redundancy or compliance with certain data protection regulations. Amazon S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval is a low-cost storage class specifically designed for long-lived archive data that still requires millisecond access times. It bridges the gap between archival storage and real-time accessibility, offering the lowest cost option for data that is rarely changed but may need to be retrieved instantly when accessed. Unlike traditional archive tiers that involve hours-long retrieval delays, S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval provides immediate access, making it a powerful choice for frequently accessed archive data, such as medical imaging, scientific research datasets, media assets, and regulatory documents. These types of workloads often require long-term retention while still needing fast access for compliance audits, research queries, or media playback. Although the access latency is on par with S3 Standard and other primary tiers, this class comes with per GB retrieval charges. So while it dramatically lowers the cost of storing archived data, it's not ideal for high-access workloads where those retrieval fees could add up quickly. S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval offers 99.9% availability, slightly lower than that of the standard tier, but still sufficient for most archive use cases. It also integrates fully with lifecycle policies, making it easy to automatically transition infrequently accessed objects from S3 Standard or Intelligent Tiering after a specific period of inactivity, ensuring cost efficiency without manual effort. For organizations with compliance needs, this class supports features like S3 Object Lock, enabling write once, read many worm protection, and it is compatible with cross-region replication, CRR, to support geographic redundancy and data durability standards. S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval is the ideal solution for archive data that must remain quickly accessible, combining archival economics with real-time availability. Perfect for workloads where retrieval speed matters, but access frequency remains low. Amazon S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval is a low-cost archival storage class designed for long-term data retention, with the added benefit of multiple retrieval speed options. It offers a balanced solution for organizations that want to minimize storage costs while maintaining the flexibility to retrieve data when needed, whether it's urgently or as part of a planned process. Unlike S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval, this class is optimized for data that is not frequently accessed but may occasionally require quick access. To accommodate varying retrieval needs, it provides three retrieval options: expedited retrievals, which allow access in as little as 1 to 5 minutes, standard retrievals, which complete within 3 to 5 hours, and bulk retrievals, the most cost-efficient option, which return data within 5 to 12 hours. This flexibility makes it well-suited for backup and disaster recovery scenarios, long-term media archiving, and compliance-related storage, where access is infrequent but cannot be entirely ruled out. Although Glacier Flexible Retrieval ensures the same 99.9999999% 11 nines durability as other S3 storage classes, its availability is lower than that of S3 Standard or Intelligent Tiering, making it appropriate for non-critical data that can tolerate delayed access. Retrieval costs are tiered based on the chosen speed and the volume of data accessed. As a result, organizations benefit from planning access patterns in advance to balance performance and cost. This storage class integrates seamlessly with S3 lifecycle policies, enabling the automatic transition of data from higher-cost classes like S3 Standard or S3 Intelligent Tiering after a set period of inactivity. This allows teams to enforce data retention policies while keeping costs predictable and low. From a compliance and security perspective, S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval supports encryption, S3 Object Lock, and a range of compliance retention policies, helping organizations meet regulatory standards for long-term archival storage. Amazon S3 Glacier Deep Archive is the lowest cost storage class offered by AWS, specifically designed for long-term data archiving, where access is extremely rare and retrieval speed is not a priority. It is the ideal solution for storing information that must be retained for years or even decades, while keeping storage expenses at a minimum. This storage class is best suited for use cases such as regulatory archives, financial records, historical datasets, and backup data that organizations are required to preserve for compliance or business continuity. Because the data is seldom accessed, Glacier Deep Archive is optimized for durability and cost efficiency rather than performance. When data needs to be retrieved, Glacier Deep Archive provides options with retrieval times ranging from 12 to 48 hours. Standard retrievals are available within 12 hours, while bulk retrievals, which are more economical, may take up to 48 hours. Due to these extended access times and the associated per GB and per request retrieval fees, it is not suitable for time-sensitive or frequently accessed workloads. Despite the longer access times, Glacier Deep Archive integrates seamlessly with Amazon S3 lifecycle policies. This allows organizations to automatically transition data from more expensive storage tiers, like S3 Standard or S3 Intelligent Tiering, once it becomes inactive, thereby optimizing storage costs without manual intervention. From a compliance and security standpoint, Glacier Deep Archive supports encryption and S3 Object Lock, which helps organizations meet regulatory requirements for long-term, immutable storage. This is particularly important for industries like healthcare, finance, and legal services, where tamper-proof data retention is essential. However, it's important to note that Glacier Deep Archive does not support cross-region replication. Organizations requiring geographic redundancy would need to transition data to a supported class before replication or design alternate strategies to maintain resilience across regions. Amazon S3 transition actions refer to a set of configurable rules that automate the movement of objects between different storage classes based on the age of the data. These rules are part of S3 lifecycle policies and are particularly useful for optimizing storage costs by ensuring that data is always stored in the most cost-effective tier according to its access patterns. For instance, you might set up a transition rule that automatically moves objects from the default S3 standard class to S3 standard infrequent access, IA, 30 days after their creation. This shift can result in significant cost savings, especially when data is no longer accessed frequently, but still needs to remain available. The same rule can also be extended to move those objects into even more cost-effective archival classes, such as S3 Glacier or Glacier Deep Archive, after an additional period, like 90 days. This multi-stage transition ensures that storage costs decrease progressively as the data ages and is accessed less frequently. When the life cycle of data is well understood, such as backup files that are rarely accessed after a certain period, organizations can design precise transition strategies that reflect these patterns. However, in cases where access patterns are unpredictable, S3 intelligent tiering becomes a smart alternative. In this storage class, Amazon S3 automatically monitors usage and moves data between frequent and infrequent access tiers based on observed activity, relieving administrators of the need to manually configure transition rules. By leveraging transition actions, businesses can take advantage of Amazon S3's full range of storage classes, each with its own pricing model and access characteristics. S3 expiration actions are an essential part of Amazon S3's lifecycle management features, designed to help customers automatically manage object lifespans and reduce storage costs over time. Much like transition actions, which move objects between storage classes based on their age, expiration actions focus on defining when objects should be deleted from a bucket, freeing up storage and keeping data environments clean and efficient. These actions can be configured through lifecycle policies to automatically remove the current version of an object once it reaches a certain age. This is especially useful for managing temporary data, such as logs, reports, or backup snapshots that are only needed for a limited time. By setting expiration dates, organizations avoid the buildup of stale or obsolete data, which can otherwise lead to unnecessary storage costs. Additionally, expiration actions can be applied to non-current versions of objects. In versioned buckets, previous iterations of an object are retained unless explicitly deleted. With expiration rules in place, these older versions can be permanently removed after a defined period, helping control version sprawl and keeping storage lean. Another important application of expiration policies is the automatic cleanup of expired object delete markers and incomplete multi-part uploads. Delete markers are created when versioned objects are deleted, and while they're useful for recovery, they can clutter the bucket if left unmanaged. Similarly, multi-part uploads that are never completed can leave behind partially stored fragments that take up unnecessary space. Expiration rules can remove both of these automatically, ensuring the bucket remains clean and cost-efficient. It's important to understand that S3 handles deletions asynchronously. Once an object is marked for expiration, there may be a delay before it's actually removed, but AWS does not charge for storage during this grace period. Let's now walk through the S3 lifecycle options, an essential feature that allows you to automate the movement and deletion of objects based on their age or access patterns. These options help you optimize storage costs and streamline data management across your S3 buckets. Objects stored in the S3 standard storage class can be seamlessly transitioned to other storage classes like S3 standard IA, S3 intelligent tiering, S3 one zone IA, S3 Glacier instant retrieval, S3 Glacier flexible retrieval, or S3 Glacier deep archive. These transitions help optimize storage costs based on data access patterns and retention needs. As data becomes less frequently accessed or older, it can be moved to lower cost tiers, ranging from infrequent access to deep archival storage, while still maintaining durability, security, and optional lifecycle automation through policies. The S3 standard IA infrequent access storage class can be transitioned to even more cost-effective options based on data access patterns and retention needs. You can move data from standard IA to S3 intelligent tiering for automated tiering, to S3 one zone IA for lower cost storage within a single availability zone, or to archival classes like S3 Glacier instant retrieval, Glacier flexible retrieval, or Glacier deep archive for long-term storage with varying retrieval times and cost structures. These transitions can be automated using lifecycle policies to optimize storage costs while retaining access to data as needed. The S3 Intelligent Tiering Storage class is designed for automatic cost optimization by dynamically moving data between access tiers based on usage patterns. However, it also supports explicit lifecycle transitions, enabling fine-tuned control and further cost savings as data becomes increasingly cold or compliance-driven. Objects stored in the frequent access or infrequent access tiers of intelligent tiering can be transitioned to S3 one zone IA for lower redundancy use cases, or to archive classes like S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval, Glacier Flexible Retrieval, or Glacier Deep Archive. These transitions are suitable when the data is aging and no longer needs the same level of availability or performance, but still must be retained. From the Archive Instant Access tier, which is designed for archive data that still requires fast retrieval, objects can be moved to Glacier Instant Retrieval, Glacier Flexible Retrieval, or Glacier Deep Archive, depending on how quickly access is required and how infrequently the data is needed. Data in the Archive Access tier, optimized for low-cost long-term storage with flexible retrieval speeds, can transition further down the hierarchy to Glacier Flexible Retrieval or Glacier Deep Archive for maximum savings. Finally, objects already in the Deep Archive Access tier, the lowest cost intelligent tiering level, can be transitioned directly to Glacier Deep Archive for ultra-low cost, long-term archival storage with retrieval times of up to 48 hours. Objects stored in the S3 one zone infrequent access, one zone IA storage class can be transitioned to colder archive tiers, such as S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval or S3 Glacier Deep Archive, to further reduce storage costs for data that is rarely accessed. These transitions are ideal for non-critical data that no longer needs even infrequent access availability, but must be retained for long-term storage, compliance, or backup purposes. By leveraging S3 lifecycle policies, organizations can automate the movement of aging data from one zone IA to archival tiers, ensuring optimal cost efficiency while maintaining appropriate levels of durability and retrieval flexibility. Objects stored in the S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval Storage class can be transitioned to S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval or S3 Glacier Deep Archive for further cost optimization when access needs become even less frequent. These transitions are ideal for data that initially required instant access, but is now rarely retrieved and can tolerate slower retrieval times. Using lifecycle policies, data can seamlessly move from instant retrieval to colder tiers, helping organizations reduce long-term storage costs while still meeting compliance or retention requirements. Objects in the S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval Storage class can be transitioned to S3 Glacier Deep Archive for maximum long-term storage cost savings when retrieval requirements become even less frequent. This transition is ideal for data that must be retained for regulatory, compliance, or historical purposes, but is rarely, if ever, accessed. By leveraging S3 lifecycle policies, organizations can automate this shift, reducing storage costs significantly while maintaining durability and compliance through features like S3 Object Lock and encryption. The Amazon S3 lifecycle model provides a comprehensive and flexible framework for managing object storage across its full lifecycle, from frequent access in S3 Standard to long-term archival in Glacier Deep Archive. By using lifecycle policies, organizations can automate transitions and expirations based on object age, access patterns, or data retention needs. Each storage class offers distinct benefits in terms of cost, performance, and availability, enabling tailored optimization for diverse workloads. With intelligent tiering, granular transitions, and powerful policy controls, the S3 lifecycle model empowers users to reduce storage costs, streamline data management, and ensure compliance, all without manual intervention. Implementing lifecycle rules is crucial for efficiently managing storage costs and ensuring optimal data availability. By defining automated transitions between S3 storage classes, businesses can ensure that data moves to the most cost-effective storage tier based on its access patterns and age. This not only helps in reducing manual oversight, but also streamlines compliance and data retention requirements. Leveraging lifecycle rules helps organizations maintain a well-organized, cost-effective storage strategy while minimizing operational complexity. When implementing S3 lifecycle storage class transitions, it's important to be aware of certain built-in constraints that help ensure cost efficiency and proper usage of Amazon S3's storage tiers. First, object size matters. By default, Amazon S3 does not transition objects smaller than 128 kilobytes to another storage class. This is because each transition request incurs a cost, and for very small objects, the savings gained from moving them to a lower cost tier often don't outweigh the expense of the transition itself. As a result, transitioning such small files can end up being more costly than simply leaving them in their current storage class. Next, timing is crucial for transitioning data into certain storage classes like S3 Standard Infrequent Access, Standard IA, or S3 One Zone IA. Amazon S3 enforces a rule that objects must reside in their current storage class for at least 30 days before they are eligible for transition to either of these infrequent access classes. This applies both to current versions of objects and non-current versions in version buckets. The rationale behind this rule is that newly created or recently modified data is often accessed more frequently or deleted sooner, making them poor candidates for these cost-optimized but access-limited storage classes. Finally, there's the consideration of minimum storage duration charges. Certain storage classes, like Standard IA, One Zone IA, Glacier, and Glacier Deep Archive, have a minimum duration requirement. If you transition an object into one of these classes and then move it out or delete it before it has stayed for the required time, typically 30, 90, or even 180 days, Amazon S3 will still charge you as though the object was stored for the full minimum period. This means you need to carefully design your lifecycle policies to respect these duration thresholds. Otherwise, you risk incurring unnecessary costs. Altogether, these constraints are designed to strike a balance between automation and optimization. By understanding and following these lifecycle transition guidelines, you can design smarter, more cost-effective S3 storage strategies that align with both your access patterns and your budget. Amazon S3 lifecycle policies enable automated management of object storage over time, helping organizations streamline data retention and reduce costs with minimal manual intervention. By configuring lifecycle rules, you can define how and when your data should transition between different storage classes or be deleted entirely. These policies are especially effective for managing large datasets that follow predictable access patterns. For example, you can configure objects to automatically move from S3 Standard to S3 Standard Infrequent Access IA after 30 days, then transition to S3 Glacier after 90 days, and eventually be deleted after a designated retention period. This automated flow ensures that data is always stored in the most cost-effective tier based on its age and access frequency. Lifecycle rules can be applied to both current and non-current versions of objects, making them ideal for managing version buckets as well. You have the flexibility to target rules at the entire bucket, specific key prefixes, or objects with particular tags, giving you granular control over your storage strategy. Whether it's archiving long-term logs, managing backups, or automatically purging obsolete data, S3 lifecycle policies provide a powerful way to optimize storage usage, control costs, and simplify long-term data management in the cloud. Amazon S3's Storage Class Analysis feature provides powerful insights into your data's access patterns, helping you make informed decisions about when and how to transition data to more cost-effective storage classes. This analytics tool is designed specifically to help identify infrequently accessed data that might be better suited for S3 Standard IA or other lower-cost tiers. Once enabled, Storage Class Analysis continuously monitors the access patterns of your data over time. You can apply it to an entire bucket or fine-tune it by creating filters based on prefixes, object tags, or a combination of both. This means you can group objects in meaningful ways, such as by project, environment, or data type, and analyze each group independently. In fact, you can configure up to 1,000 filters per bucket with a separate analysis generated for each. The system begins collecting and displaying data in the S3 console within 24 to 48 hours, but the real value comes from observing trends over 30 days or more. The analysis focuses on object age, the average total storage per age group, and the volume of data transferred out, giving you a nuanced view of how different segments of your data are being accessed. With this insight, you can confidently optimize your lifecycle policies. For example, if storage class analysis reveals that objects older than 60 days are rarely accessed, you might decide to transition that data from S3 standard to S3 standard IA, reducing your costs while still ensuring availability when needed. This kind of visibility transforms lifecycle management from guesswork into a data-driven strategy, empowering you to automate storage transitions efficiently and responsibly across your S3 environment. Now that we've explored each S3 storage class in detail, let's bring it all together with a final summary comparison. Amazon S3 offers a wide range of storage classes, each tailored for specific use cases, access patterns, durability, and cost considerations. Whether you're storing frequently accessed web content, long-term backups, or regulatory archives, there's a storage class that fits your needs. At the top end, S3 Standard delivers high availability, low latency, and no retrieval costs, ideal for performance-sensitive applications and frequently accessed data. On the other hand, S3 Standard IA and OneZone IA provide lower cost options for infrequently accessed data, with OneZone IA sacrificing multi-AZ redundancy for deeper savings. For those with unpredictable access patterns, S3 Intelligent Tiering offers the best of both worlds. Automatic tiering between frequent and infrequent access layers without compromising performance. It even supports archive tiers for rarely accessed data, further optimizing costs. When it comes to long-term archival, S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval gives you instant access at the lowest cost for archive data, while S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval and Glacier Deep Archive offer even lower storage costs with varying retrieval times, suitable for backup and compliance data that can tolerate delayed access. Each storage class varies in terms of availability, retrieval time, cost, and durability, but all of them share the same foundation of security, encryption, and integration with lifecycle policies and compliance features. Choosing the right storage class and managing it through automated lifecycle rules can significantly reduce costs while ensuring your data is stored in the right place at the right time. The key is to align your storage strategy with how your data is used, how often it's accessed, and how long it needs to be retained. Thank you for joining us in this video. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with our latest content. We look forward to sharing more insights with you in another video. Until then, keep exploring. And thank you for watching.